All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the drive-thru. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Hungry? Stop by the deli. Get yourself a little miniature Honeycrisp apple. So delicious and succulent. Brought to you by Mr. Tilton, the newest member of the deli, added this week, who's coming strong, bringing some brown sugar Pop-Tarts with him. All right, so we've got a vertical angle problem. The geometry is simple. The algebra is tough. So we're going to show you two different ways to do this, and then you're going to decide for yourself which method you like the most. We've got a clear-cut pair of vertical angles here. Remember, even though they're not vertical, they're horizontal, we still refer to them as vertical angles. So I can say that x squared minus 6x is equal to 1/2 x plus 42. Okay, I'm going to double everything to get rid of my fractions. So 2x squared minus 12x is 1x plus 84. Whenever we're working with a quadratic means we have a power of 2 on our variable. You want to get everything to the same side. So 2x squared minus 13x minus 84 is equal to 0. Okay, now this is where we got to it in class, and I advise you guys to use the quadratic formula, which says x equals minus b plus or minus big square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what that does is it solves for x without factoring. If we get stuck on a problem and we can't factor, this will always work. So the question might be asked, well, why wouldn't you always do it that way? Well, because factoring's quicker sometimes. Okay? So x equals, what's minus? Okay, first of all, this is our a, this is our b, and that's our c. Okay, so what's minus a negative 13? So 13 plus or minus big square root of 13 squared? Is that negative 169? No, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So minus 4 times 2 times a negative 84. Okay? All over 4. All right, now, if you accurately put this into your calculator, okay, what do you get for the square root? 8 what? 849? 841, thank you. Okay? And so that is, well, it's nice. Now, hey, rarely will this work out to be such a nice, perfect square, but this one is because it's ended up being factorable. Michelle? Oh, yeah, it is supposed to be a 4. Clearly, Michelle, I wrote a 2 times 2 there. Okay? All right, so it's 13 plus or minus. Square root of 841 is? Isn't it 29? All over 4. What's 13 plus 29? 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. Okay, or 32 minus 29 is negative 16. Negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4. So we've got two possible answers for our x. That's going to happen anytime we're dealing with x squareds. Well, not any time. Sometimes we'll get no solutions. Sometimes we'll get imaginary solutions. Sometimes we'll get one solution. Just to give you guys an idea of why there are two answers, what's the graph of a quadratic look like, Alejandro? That's right. It is a parabola or a U. So that touches the x-axis twice sometimes, and that's why there's two answers. Okay? All right. So when I pop that in, let's do this. Half of 10.5 is 5.25 plus 42. Okay? And if you pop that in here, you'll get the same thing. So that's good, because you should. Okay? If you put in a negative 4, you get a 40 for this one and a 40 for this one. So both those work, but that's not what we're asking for. We're asking for angle 1. So you got to subtract those from 180, and you get 140 degrees or 100 and 32.75 degrees. Okay? Now let's show you how you could have factored this thing. There's this thing called the AC method. Okay? You're looking for two numbers that multiply to give you A times C, and that add to give you B. So I want you guys to think of two numbers that multiply to be negative 168 and add to be negative 13. Well, here's how I want you to do that. You guys don't know what multiplies to be 168. That's not a common number. But you do know, since they add to be negative 13, that one of them is, and the other one is. Okay, so these are going to be 13 apart. So just start with numbers that are 13 apart. What's 2 times 15? So that doesn't do it. So show us what you get. Negative 21 and positive 8. So what you do is you do this riddle so you can split the middle. So you do 2x squared. You said negative 21. Okay. So I'm going to do plus 8x minus 21 plus 84 equals 0. It looks like I didn't do anything. I mean, honestly, it looks like I just made the problem worse. Do you see what I did? Okay? Yes, sorry, it should be 21x. Now I factor again. So what number? You factor by a major grouping. So what number goes into that and letter? So we're going to say 2x times x plus 4. And what number goes in to both of those? So I'll take out a, hold on, this is supposed to be a minus 84, wasn't it? Yeah, all along it was a minus 84. So a minus 21 times x plus 4. Oh, look how that works. That will always work out that way. So then you'll factor that by saying both of these things, 2x and 21, both have an x plus 4 in them. So that's how you factor it. And then lo and behold, when you set that thing equal to 0, you get x equals, you either get x plus 4 equals 0, or 2x minus 21 equals 0. Here, x equals what? Boom. Or? So, those of you that love factoring, that's the way you might want to do it. Okay? You plug them back in, find angle 1. Everybody good with that?